The Capstone program is where ninth graders research a topic where they're very passionate about and find a solution to a problem.
Capstone is basically just a problem you really care about deep down, and then you create a poster and you fill out a packet explaining all details.
Capstone is the project we ninth grade and Rectory do. It's the research project we have.
Everybody has their own topics and they're all very passionate about them.
My capstone was about addiction and most importantly, how to stop it.
My topic is about the struggles in the foster care system here in Connecticut and how it needs to be fixed and how we need to stop failing our future.
For my capstone project, I researched about overconsumerism in teens due to social media, and I focused on the beauty and fashion industry.
My project is about the effect of earthquakes have on pets.
My capstone is about child poverty, that it was a very big problem that needed to be noticed.
The Capstone Project is a culminating ninth grade passion project, which incorporates elements of research, opinion, and persuasion, where students in the ninth grade explore and consider solutions to issues that are prevalent in today's society that they care deeply about.
These are issues that we're faced with today where there are no clear solutions, but there are clear challenges. And students are expected to dive into these issues, to research, to become well-informed about the various sides of these topics, and then to propose what they believe to be workable, effective solutions.
They spend a lot of time in the beginning really trying to think of things that matter to them, think of either where they're from or where they'd like to go, and what kind of problems they see in society that they would try to come up with a solution to.
I live in New York City and the drug problem there is really bad, so I want to be educated on what can I do to help and what resources are there available that I can even volunteer in to help these people get back on their feet.
I was really interested in this topic because me and my friends, we all use social media a lot, and I saw that a lot of us have clothes that we don't wear, or shelves of skincare that we don't use. So I decided that this would be a good topic for me to research.
The reason it's called Capstone is because it really does put together all of the skills that they've learned at Rectory since they've been here. It forces them to make connections between classes that they may not have seen before.
We like each discipline to be represented within the Capstone project, and the discipline subject teachers all support the project along the way.
So it is really a kind of a culminating cross-curricular activity that they do in all of their classes. And then it all ends at the Capstone Fair at the end of the year, which is the most fun part. It's the exciting part where we get to see all of their passion and all of their knowledge. Their topics, interestingly, can go from African refugees and dive right into the issues of AI. So as you're walking through, you are presented with all of these issues that the students have put together, and from one to the next it gets more and more interesting, and then you get to the next row and it is a whole new world, and there's all these other different issues with equally passionate people.
We're here at the Capstone Fair. We just got underway. It's very exciting. The kids have worked really hard and we're excited to see what they do.
I am so excited to see everybody's presentations today. I have an opportunity to judge 5 or 6 students, and so far I've heard about bicycle safety and I've heard about the effects of TikTok on teens, and I'm really excited to judge the rest.
The smiles on their faces and the engaged conversations that they have with people, we're always impressed by how much they know and how many questions they can answer and how deep they feel about it.
It's always interesting to see when our students are passionate about a subject and they want to transmit that information to us.
I absolutely love it. All the kids seem very informed and energetic about their topics.
The fair is fantastic. Every year I have to raise my voice so you can hear me because there's so much interesting conversation going on between the students and people who want to learn about their topics.
I was very impressed with the eye contact, the knowledge, and the recall of facts and understanding of the topic without having to look back at their notes or at their poster.
These posters are incredible. The students are talking about some stuff that They're telling me what they've learned. Whether it's Gabby talking about the lack of electricity that's in Nigeria right now, whether it's Amelia talking about period poverty, we have Emily talking about human trafficking, a bunch of topics that we would have never guessed, and certainly ones that we really haven't seen before. So I'm super grateful to be a part of this process of the kids in my history class and for the amount of effort they put in.
People who come to the Capstone Fair always say there's never enough time. You know, you want to stop and you want to talk to each and every student, and each and every student wants you to stop and talk to them. They're so passionate that they could sit there and talk to you for 5, 10, 20 minutes if you let them. The hardest part is walking away.
I love the variety of topics that we see when we walk into the Capstone Fair. And to go from booth to booth and to hear both how knowledgeable they've become about their topics, but maybe as importantly, if not more importantly, how passionate they've become.
There's something about the Capstone Fair that elicits this excitement, and everybody that comes, it's contagious. You know, the kids are just so excited and so passionate that you become that excited and that passionate, and you leave with all of this information and some actual solutions of what you can do in your life to help these students with their projects. I love the inspiration that each student tries to give to everybody else.
Oh, it's pretty fun. I have learned a lot of different things so far, especially from my close friends, and honestly it's a cool experience to be here.
As an 8th grader, I feel like I'm nervous. I was nervous at first to start Capstone in 9th grade, but after seeing all of the presentations and like hearing everyone's like ideas and how they feel about it, I feel less nervous to do it next year, and I'm honestly pretty excited because I feel more inspired by my friends and like all the topics that are here today in this fair. Students
collectively are fairly nervous in the beginning because there's so much passion and work that has gone into it. They really want to make sure that they've, done the best job and that they get across what they want to get across. A lot of our students want to educate the community. They feel passionate about what they've done for the last few months, and they are just worried about, will I get this across the right way? Will I be able to explain it and make people care? During the Capstone Fair, you can start to see those nerves melt away as they talk about it and talk about it and talk about it, because they are there for almost 2 hours talking about their project to everybody that walks up to them. So they are going over it multiple times, and at the end, they have this sigh of relief that it's over, but definitely you see their shoulders sort of back more and their faces are, beaming. And they always say, I was really nervous in the beginning, but that was the best. I loved that. There was this one person who said that they were going to do something, and I think I inspired them. And to see that, I think they really see the authenticity of the project and then the authenticity of themselves. Like, I can actually do something in this world. So the Capstone Fair is all of that on display in 2 hours. It's the nerves, the love, the passion, and the pride.
I think I did pretty well. The poster part wasn't that hard, neither is the presentation. I'd say the hardest part is the research, definitely. You just have to get a lot of information and become really knowledgeable on these topics.
I personally think I did okay because I am a foster family, so we have the kids, so I feel like I did everything the way it needed to be.
I feel confident because I didn't think I'll do good as this. I thought I was gonna do even worse than this, so I feel confident about it.
I think I did phenomenal. That's just my personal opinion.
I think the greatest aspect of the Capstone project is that it's about student choice, and that it also reminds the students of the responsibility they have. This is why we attend school. We attend school to learn so that we can be contributing members of society, so that we can use the skills we've learned, the content knowledge, to better our world.
One of the most important things about Capstone is that it allows students to really put to test, like everything they've learned. And it puts to test, who they are as a student, but also who they are as a person, because there's a big element of independence there where they have to do a lot of this on their own with guidance, but it really shows them who they are. And at the end, my favorite part is when they all say, I learned so much about myself, and I think that is a really important part of what we do here at Rectory, is send them off knowing just a little bit more of who they are.
I really enjoyed learning more about public speaking, how to present myself better to people who might not know anything about my topic. I think that was a really important part of Capstone is public speaking.
I just think it's great because it kind of makes you think about how grateful we should be because there's all these problems. Everybody has a different problem, so it's kind of cool how we're here and we don't really have to struggle with any of these things.
Actually, I liked it because this kind of reminds me of the problem I actually never knew about. I will never think about this topic if I'm not doing this project. So you're actually able to learn something you would never knew before, and then you actually make a difference of it.
It was pretty fun. Like doing the whole capstone presentation was fun. It was a lot of work, but once this is the easier part. Honestly, like just standing there, presenting and showing off like what I got to do, what I'm passionate about.
One of the things that stands out for me as I go through the Capstone Fair is the personal connection the students have to their topics. Things that I didn't know about them before, as they talk about a family member who may have experienced something having to do with what they've researched. And that personal piece, one, it makes the project much more meaningful for the students, but two, it's powerful for me to see that we provided an academic experience that has such personal connections for the kids.
The Capstone project is my favorite project because it gives ninth graders agency to be independent in their learning, but also to see themselves in the greater world and what they can do for it.
My hope is that Capstone remains a cornerstone piece of the ninth grade experience for years to come. I do think it can be one of the most meaningful, intellectually rigorous activities our students engage in that it really makes them think. And that's what they're going to need to do more and more as they move forward with their academic careers and their professional careers.
My hope for our graduating students is that they remember as they go forward in their academic careers, but also in their adult lives, that at one point they sat down and thought of an issue that was happening in the world that they cared about and actually came up with solutions to it. And instead of viewing it as these are other people's problems or other people will fix these problems, they see themselves in it as an agent of change instead of just an observer.
I hope that Capstone remains a critical part of the ninth grade experience for years to come, and that more and more folks will come to enjoy the fair and to learn all that these students have to share.